Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be answering questions. This is like a follow-up to my giving birth in Canada video as a non-resident. All right, so a lot of people have been sending DMs to me on Instagram and emails. I apologize to all people that maybe I've missed their DMs or I haven't responded to their emails. I've been trying to catch up with all these messages, so I apologize to anyone that maybe I've skipped their messages. I'd advise that you send again to me if I have not responded, or you drop a comment in the chat so that I can go check my inbox to see if you've sent a message to me. All right, so today I'm going to be answering like very common questions that people have been sending to me. The first question that I know people have been sending to me mostly is, what hospital did I deliver my baby and what province? So I gave birth in Ontario. All right, I gave birth in Ontario, and the name of the hospital that I gave birth is Humber River Hospital, Ontario, is in North York. All right, so what made me decide to use this hospital is it was near to my Airbnb. So the Airbnb I got was in North York, and it was about 15 minutes away, like 15 minutes drive away from the hospital, which was a very, very good one, because that was like a determining factor to choose my hospital, my delivering hospital. So Humber River Hospital. I was thinking, should I say the name of the doctor that I used or not? But I'm just going to mention his name in this video, even though I'm not advertising or I don't talk to him, I don't have any relationship with him. His name is Ted Kosalka. I'm sure there's been like a lot of blogs, a few blogs that have been talking about like giving birth in Canada, and they've mentioned his name there. He's very popular in terms of delivering people that like non-residents. So Ted Kosalka is his name. His office is quite out of the hospital, so I know people are asking me like, is the doctor's office in the hospital? No, it's just a stone throw away from the hospital. It's not far away. And the bill, another very common question, the bill that you pay is quite different. So what you pay to the hospital is quite different from what you pay the doctor. So it's a different bill entirely. Although I've mentioned before that currently it's been free. Hospital bill has been free. So what I meant by that was the money to deliver, I mean, just like the payment for admission in the hospital has been free lately, and it's up until today that I'm doing this video, it is still free for you to deliver in Ontario province, but you have to pay the doctor. So the doctor's delivery fee encompasses whatever it is. It could be for this said doctor, it will tell you that some part of the bill is for the pediatrician, another part is for maybe if he wasn't the one in the hospital to deliver you, so it would pay the obstetrician that was on call on that day or something. So basically there's like a share of money that goes to different specialists on the day that you deliver. So for the question about if you need a referral for hospital, you actually don't need any referral to go to the hospital. In my case, I didn't need a family doctor's referral, because I've gotten a lot of questions like, do you need a family doctor's referral and all. I've heard that people actually do need a referral. Before I went to Canada, I also was of the opinion that you might need a family doctor's referral, but I didn't have to. I just showed up at the hospital at Humber River, and that was it. Then I showed up at the doctor's office. No, I didn't show up at the doctor's office. I called actually. So I called before showing up at the doctor's office to get an appointment. So that was it. So didn't need any letters or any written thing to go to hospital. Yeah. So that answers that question. The next question that I've been getting is how much did I pay and how much is the doctor's fee? All right, so I paid 2,500 Canadian dollars at the time, even though he told me it was 3,000, but I got to pay 2,500. He told me 3,000 because he didn't want to charge me extra if I delivered using cesarean section. It just covered both, like cesarean section, vaginal delivery. It would just cover. You know, it's been a while now, so and there's inflation, things have changed, because from the last I heard, it would take between 3,000 to 3,500. So I don't want you to put your mind on 2,005, because most of people that I know that have been going to him have been paying between 3,000 and 3,500. So you should actually put your mind on 3,000 to 3,500 if you're going to use this doctor. My second hospital option was North York General. All right, so North York General and Humber River were the closest hospitals to me, and I was open to any of them. But as soon as I got to Humber River, I just liked the hospital, and I didn't even go to North York General to even look to see if I was interested in giving birth there. So that's why I chose Humber River Hospital. But I've heard people have good experiences in North York General too, but I don't know any doctors or any names of doctors to put down in this video. All right, so concerning visas, in my case, I had a visiting visa because I wasn't pregnant at the time I applied. It only took 30 days for me to get a response back from the visa office. This was because I applied pre-COVID. Was it pre-COVID? Yes, the COVID wasn't like, so I applied pre-COVID, so there wasn't any issues then. But now I'm seeing that it gets up to like 2-3 months for people to get responses. That's why I always advise that what you need to do is, as soon as you know you're pregnant, you need to apply immediately. Or if you're planning already, then start applying right now and get your visa sorted, and then every other thing is almost sorted. So if you get your visa sorted, then it's just money remaining. So if you just know visa is sorted, and then it's just the bills that left. Everything else is sorted if you have your visa. All right, so if you're thinking about traveling to Canada to have your baby, start applying for the visa, even if you're not pregnant now. And the visa expires when your passport expires. So it'd be a good idea to have like 10 years on your passport, and then that means you have 10 years Canadian visa, which is quite nice. So that's for visas. And then people are asking me about like how much to have in the account, and what's the process if you need an agent to apply for your visa. I really don't know that answer. I don't know the answer to, because I did not use an agent. So, and I don't think it is needed. I don't want to upset anyone, but I don't think that you need an agent to apply for the Canadian visa, because I think it's just straightforward. Because I'm wondering what the agent is going to do. Maybe some people use birthing agents because person is going to help them sort out accommodation and all that. I think that makes sense to some extent. But if you already have a way of, if you already know, okay, I'm going to be in Ontario, I know the amount the hospital is going to collect, I know the amount this is that, then you can actually apply for your visa yourself and sort out all of these things yourself. That's why I'm making this video in the first place, so that you don't really need anyone to help you to do anything. It just, it's just an easy process. So applying for the Canadian visa, it was really hard to tell how much you needed in your account. So since I applied for a visiting visa, what I did was, okay, so I said I was going to stay in Canada for 2 weeks. So I checked what the living expenses was in Canada for 2 weeks, and I had that and more in my account. I hope that makes sense. So I don't think there's really an amount that you need to have, but you just need to have enough to live in Canada if that's a visiting visa. But if it is a birthing visa, then you should have the amount enough to deliver and a little more for you to survive in Canada during the time that you said you want to stay in Canada. I think that makes sense, because I don't think you need to have like a lot of money and all, because having too much money is a bit suspect also. So that answers that question. I don't really know much about the visa application, except that I applied for it and I got the visa. And I know a lot of people that I'm getting positive responses. There's another question about the visa. People have asked me recently, do you have to know someone in Canada? And because it looks like you need a letter from someone in Canada to apply for the visa. Okay, so in my case, although I knew people in Canada, but I didn't get a letter from anyone, a letter of invitation. I'm not sure 100%. As I said, I'm not really very informed about the visas, but that's the speculation I've heard. I haven't renewed my visa yet to Canada. I'm going to do that very soon, and hopefully whatever has changed, I will check it out and I can update you guys. But right now, I really don't know. If you know, please put it in the comment section and let me know. All right, so that's for the visa process. So I don't really know any other answers or questions and all. Some people have asked me some visa questions that I have to go online to go and browse and check on Google and then return back to them just to give them the response, because I really did not know. Away from the visa application, another question I've been getting from people is when they get to Canada, what do they need to have at the point of entry? I'll say nothing. Okay, so what you need to just do is prepare yourself to either declare that you are pregnant or just prepare not to say anything at all. But I would not advise you to lie and say you're not pregnant or you're not coming to give birth in Canada. That would be a very, very big mistake, because honesty is just it. If you go lie, you might be banned or something. I really don't know what happens then. What you just need to have at the point of entry is enough money, just in case you are asked about what you have. So you just have enough money in your account that's enough to cover the hospital bill, even though I said hospital bill is free, just in case. So hospital bill, the doctor's fee, your Airbnb if you haven't paid for it already, and if you have paid for it, just show the evidence that you have paid for accommodation, then you're feeding, and that's it. So you just need to have enough money to live in Canada and survive for the amount of time that you're going to be in Canada. That's all I think that you need at the point of entry. And everyone I've told this, I've not had any problems entering into Canada, or at the point of entry, they haven't had any problems. So I think that's all you need. So surprisingly, people have asked me what Airbnb I stayed in. So I actually stayed on Weston Road. I'm not hiding it from anyone. So that's the name of the street. Weston Road was the name of the street that I stayed in. And it was a house that I stayed. It was a 2-bedroom house. And it was quite a nice place. But the last person I gave the link couldn't find it on Airbnb. So I think most likely it's been taken out of listing or something. But that's where I stayed. So Weston Road is where I stayed, guys. All right. So I hope that has answered questions. So I checked for the Airbnb in the UK before I got to Canada, paid some part of the money, and then I paid for, I think, 6 weeks, because I thought I was going to stay 6 weeks or more. I paid 6 weeks, and that was it. I would advise that you stay in an Airbnb over a hotel. All right, so what you can do is maybe stay in a hotel for maybe a couple of days, since you're like the only one, or you or your partner. But if you're going to take your baby or a toddler, then I would just advise that you just go to an Airbnb straight. But if you have family members in Canada, it would be nice to actually stay with your family, because there's nothing like family around you, or good friends around you. Okay, then for food and supplies, there are lots of shops. If you're African, there's shops that you can go get food, and you can get raw food, or you can get cooked food in Canada. Especially if you're in the Ontario province, there are a lot of like Africans around. If you're Asian, you're Caribbean and the rest, there are places you can get what you want very, very easily. It's quite easy to get whatever you want. So I think food and supplies is really, really sorted. Moving on to papers for the baby. All right, so paperwork for the baby is another one that's quite easy. At the hospital, they're going to give you all the baby papers, and you just look on it, go online and apply for baby's birth certificate. It's as easy as that. You just say Canadian birth certificate, put it online, and it will come up for you. And then there is an option to say, I want to put like both parents. There's one for both parents, and there's one for one parent, one named parent. So you just put it on it and put your address, the address you're staying in. Don't put the address of the hospital. And as soon as you get home, I think within 5 days, you get your birth certificate, and that's what you're going to use for the to apply for the passport. So when you get it, apply for the passport online, and that's all you need. That's really all you need. So that answers the question. I don't want to go into details because I've already answered them in my previous videos. Did I have health insurance before traveling to Canada? So no, I did not have health insurance. Insurance is always good every time. I don't know why I didn't have health insurance, but I'm not sure if I really needed one. I was just very, very optimistic that nothing was going to happen. So I've had a couple of friends that have traveled to Canada too that did not have health insurance. So it's either we're just risky people and we're going into a risky business. But if you ask me about insurance, I'll tell you it's a good idea to have insurance every time. It's never ever a bad idea. So if you've thought about insurance, please do the insurance and you can afford it. But I didn't have one and nothing happened. So that's a decision, personal decision to make. A good time to travel. So most people have asked that when did I travel? I actually put in my previous videos that I traveled that I traveled at 35 weeks. Yes, right around that time. So I gave birth to my baby at 37 weeks gestational age, and it wasn't expected. Usually your EDD is at 40 weeks, but I gave birth 3 weeks before my date of delivery. But it's a good thing to travel before 36 weeks. Most of the airlines will tell you that they will fly you at 36 weeks. So try to, so that you don't give birth on the flight. But I think if you even give birth on the flight, the baby is still going to be a Canadian anyways. So if you're on the way to Canada and you give birth in the airplane, I think the baby is still going to be a Canadian. But it's not a good idea. What if there's no doctor on the plane? The final big question people have been asking is, how much did I spend in total, like the grand total amount of money I spent? This is quite hard, but altogether, roughly, I spent 10,000 Canadian dollars. So that's including the accommodation, the hospital bill, the doctor's fee, and everything. But I think right now, if you're planning to deliver in Ontario, it should be less, because a very large chunk of that money went to hospital bill. If you watch my previous video, I spoke about the hospital bill. What I planned for was for 24 hours, but I stayed longer and they charged me for the time that I stayed extra in the hospital. So I won't go into details on that. If you want to see why, please go to watch the videos, please. Thank you so much, guys. If you're planning on going to Canada, go to Canada right now. Hospital bill is still free. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching my YouTube channel. A big congratulations to everyone that's had their babies. Thank you so much for watching. And to all people that haven't responded to their emails and DMs, sorry guys, I would respond as soon as I see it, or please send me another one or a reminder. Love you all. Mwah.